I am extremely happy to see meeting with several thousand young people. I always consider future is our hand. Past is past. No force can change past. But the future still not yet come. So future depends present. So these young people, you are the people who really create new shape of future. I always mentioning generation of 20th century and generation of 21st century. All people here whose age is beyond, or say the 30s, we are the generation of 20th century. Our century gone. Now you are those people whose age below 20, 15, you are the generation of 21st century. Now 21st century, more than 1 decade passed, but remaining of this century still yet to come. So generation of 21st century, you have opportunity and also responsibility to create better future. Now I belong 20th century, generation of 20th century. Oh, my century. In spite some sort of remarkable thing, scientific sort of finding or advancement, or these things in economy and many things, but the 20th century, the previous century, truly become century of violence. And I really feel very sad that the brilliant human being, those scientists, their sort of brilliant brain utilized for destruction, like atomic bomb. And as a matter of fact, in 20th century, 2 nuclear weapons used. One Nagasaki, one Hiroshima in Japan. I visited these 2 places. Oh, terrible. So therefore, now the 20th century, I think, in a way, sad century. Now beginning of this 21st century, still killing, almost become normal. One human being killed by elephant or tiger, it becomes something shocking, news. But a human being killed by another human being, now more or less normal. This must change. Now this 21st century should be a century of peace. Peace not come from outside. Logically, the destroyer of peace is our anger, hatred, jealousy, too much self-centered attitude. So therefore, logically, firstly, we must create inner peace. Through inner peace, real world peace can achieve. So inner peace, I think everybody have the experience. So, say, angry person, even you say may have all the best facility of material thing, but within the person, anger there could not get sound sleep, or angry person, very difficult to find trusted friend. And then, with anger, more irritation, and then violence comes. So logically, how to reduce anger? We have to increase human love, human compassion. So I usually is describing or expressing this 21st century should be a century of compassion. There is possibility to create compassionate century. Why? Basic human nature is more compassionate. Now, some scientists, now they already, or say they, basic more compassionate. Wonderful. Human nature is anger. Then better to, according to theistic religion, better to pray to God, please eliminate entire human being on this planet. But basic human nature is compassionate. Now scientists, they have sort of, sound reasons through their experiment. And then our common experience, the 7 billion human beings on this planet, all come from their mother. All survived with mother's love, affection, and mother's milk. So therefore, that's our life start. Then constant anger come, hatred come, our physical health much sort of spoil. So medical scientists, they say constant anger, constant hatred develop or too much stress, then eating our immune system. So therefore, this physical, this itself, you see, need more compassionate mind, not anger. So therefore, the basic human nature is more compassionate. Then if you use common sense, I think each of you, when you met someone, even a stranger, smiling, showing you human affection, then we immediately become good friends. Even your brothers, sisters, it's the same parent, but showing negative face, you feel uncomfortable. So therefore, and your neighbor, one neighbor, no matter how poor, but showing human affection, you feel a good neighbor. Another neighbor, maybe millionaire, very rich, but never showing human affection, then you feel bad neighbor. So therefore, that's a human common sense. Then, as I mentioned briefly, scientific sort of finding, the basic human nature is more compassionate. So therefore, there is sufficient reason if we use our brain properly, holistically, realistically. Look, inner peace is very important. Anger, violence always bring disaster. Firstly, you lose your peace of mind, then you create, wherever you live, you create some kind of very unhappy, fearful atmosphere. So therefore, irrespective whether believe in religion or not, since our life starts with mother's love, so we must pay more attention about human love, human compassion. Now here I want to share with you the existing modern education. I feel inadequate. Existing modern education very much oriented about material value. So therefore, when we young, we very much sort of appreciate others' love, compassion. When we grown up with better education, modern education, then we neglect, you see, these inner value. Only power, money, fame, like that. So therefore, I always is now expressing, now education, the secular education should include about education, moral education. Right? So now actually with some scientists and also some university, such as Emory University in America and also in India, you see now last few years we actually carry some research. See this, the moral ethics according secular way, how to put in secular education field. Now I think next year we can produce some kind of draft about education, about our inner value, strictly not based on religion, secular way. So I hope eventually, you see, your education institution, I think, should carry some kind of experiment like that. That's how I want to share with you. Then now here, people, trouble area, less privileged, right? Less privileged. 7 billion human beings, mentally, emotionally, physically, same. Within same human brothers sisters, making some distinction. Some are a little bit sort of the better position, some are sort of lower. And now in this country, so-called caste system, outdated, totally wrong, old way of thinking. Similarly, some kind of look down or negligence about the rural underprivileged people. That's totally wrong. I think I myself come from a very small village. I think, and my family also quite ordinary farmer. So, unprivileged family, right? Unprivileged family. So, of course, my name also makes little differences, but mainly my own effort. I have self-confidence. So you also, mainly, you should keep self-confidence. We are same human being. Little differences in the society is secondary, not important. Important is all of us, all us, right? All of us, same human being. Same brain. One occasion in Australia, South Africa, Soweto town, I met some native black African. Then I told, now you already have democratic constitution. So you have sort of same opportunity with white people, like white people. Now you must work hard with self-confidence. I mentioned to him. Then his answer, oh, black African, brain level inferior. We cannot compete with white people. I really shocked. And I argue with him. If we go together, the brain specialist asks any differences in brain due to color, the brain specialist, they definitely say no differences. So therefore, I argue with him, that kind of mental attitude is totally wrong. No scientific basis. We are same. So you should keep, I told him, you should keep self-confidence. Then work hard. So here in this country also, some cases, people come from poorer section of the society, some kind of, how should they, sense of inferiority. That's totally wrong. Then, so please think, 7 billion human beings are same. Within the country, over 1 billion Indian, you all South Indian, East Indian, North Indian, West Indian, Central Indian, all same. So you should keep self-confidence. With that, hard work. Of course, during summer, too hot, in daytime you may need some rest. But basically you should be hard working. You should not be a little bit lazy, should not do that. Okay, India, most populated democratic country and very ancient nation. I think among Egyptian civilization, Chinese civilization, Indus Valley civilization, I think India's, India, I think really produce most brilliant human being and very, very different, the philosophy, these things. So now here, we usually call Odisha Undibisha. I am one of the practitioners who follow some great saint in Undibisha. So while I carry some sort of meditation, some sort of visualization, different sort of tantric deities, tantric practice, they reflect those first or second preacher of these tradition. They refer the Undibisha, this place. So now I actually come. Of course, in the past, a few occasions I came. Now this time, another occasion come here. Emotionally, I feel something. So therefore, this country, I think, really produce, I think, most brilliant people in this country, including Buddhist philosophy. All Buddhist masters in the past, all are Indian. No Tibetan, no Chinese, no Sri Lanka, no Thailand, no Burma. Buddhism come from here, India. So Buddhism is your tradition. And then particularly, like Nalanda masters, all Nalanda masters are Indian, but their mind brilliant. See, their concept, now scientists also now, you see, showing admiration. Like quantum physics, the Madhyamaka philosophy or Chitta Mantra philosophy, very similar, that of quantum physics. But then, the ancient Indian sort of philosophical view is much, much advanced than modern, or say, quantum physics. As a result of meeting with quantum physicists, they reach certain level, then we have the fuller knowledge how to go further. Then also psychology. Maybe sometimes I think too bold. I usually see as a describing a modern psychology, compare ancient Indian psychology, then modern psychology looks like a kindergarten level. The ancient Indian psychology highly developed. So now I want to share one important thing. Modern world lacking moral principle and lacking knowledge how to tackle our emotion, destructive emotion. In such sort of the situation, ancient Indian knowledge, not only ancient one, but also very relevant today's world. So, I think an Indian who belongs the 20th century, you neglected this knowledge. Now, young Indian belongs to 21st century. Now, you should pay more attention about ancient Indian knowledge, about emotion, about mind. Then, firstly, you can build compassionate society. And then I think that's the best way, effective way to reduce corruption. India, religious nation, but the corruption quite bad. So, corruption without self-discipline, then these things, you see, happen. Then India can share with the rest of the world about the knowledge about our emotion and how to tackle our emotion. So, strictly secular way, without touching religion, I think ancient knowledge really can be useful to modern world. So, one of my latest commitment is trying to revival of ancient Indian knowledge in modern India. So this, I feel, I usually say whenever I have opportunity, I mention these things. So, thank you, the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor of this. See, you give me this opportunity. Thank you very much. So now, that's all. Now here, I want, you see, one Buddhist sort of message. Since, you see, this ancient time, I think a lot of Buddhist sort of, what is it, traditions there. So here also is a Buddha statue also there. So statue is a statue, not important. Sometimes the people are very fond to make big statue. Of course, good, but anyway, waste of money. What we need, what important is Buddha's message, Buddha's teaching. In Tibetan tradition, over 300 volumes, all translated from Sanskrit and some extent some Pali. So these 300 volumes are the text of our study. So all come from India. So very, very useful. Now, here you see Buddha stated, "Oh, my follower, monks, scholars, should not accept my teaching out of faith, out of devotion, but rather thorough investigation and experiment." So, some of the Nalanda masters, such as Nagarjuna, Chandrakirti, Buddhapalita, you see these masters, actually, some Buddha's quotation, they rejected. If you accept this Buddha's teaching, it goes against reason. Therefore, we have to take liberty to reject Buddha's own word. I think that's quite remarkable. But I never said Buddhism is best. I never said that. Best or not according individual mental disposition. So we cannot say, like medicine, we cannot say, pick up one medicine, this is best, you cannot say. According illness, according condition of the patient, this medicine is best. Otherwise you cannot say. Similarly, to some people, Buddhist way of thinking is very, I think maybe harmful. So I never said Buddhism is best religion. However, I think Buddhism general, particularly Sanskrit tradition and the Nalanda tradition, we totally rely on investigation and experiment. So that way of that tradition can go with modern science side by side. One time, I think the Einstein also, you see, indicated that. Then last over 30 years, I have serious discussion with modern scientists, mainly in 4 fields: cosmology, neurobiology, physics, particularly quantum physics, then psychology. So our sort of discussion really eventually, you see, become mutual benefit. We learn some good thing from scientists. And similarly, scientists, you see, really showing amazement, some of the ancient Indian thought, the thinkers' view in these 4 fields. So therefore, you as an Indian and people in Odisha, you should feel proud. Okay, thank you.